Do you know about Association of Indian Management Schools? It's a 34-year-old networking body of B schools in India, having a membership of about 600 top management institutions. AIMS focuses on professionalization of management education, protects interests of B schools, represents management institutions at national and international forums, financially supports members in academic events, funds research projects on management, disseminates management-related knowledge through its annual Management Education Convention, conferences, seminars, roundtables and workshops, organizes free weekly webinars on knowledge sharing and inspiring young leaders sessions for management faculty and students, supports B schools in admissions through Atma, AIMS test for management admissions. Visit https://atmaims.com for more details. Publishes a biannual AIMS Journal of Management. Visit https://aimsjournal.com for more details. Circulates a quarterly e-newsletter on AIMS activities. Conducts workshops on case writing. Encourages AIMS members to be part of decision-making processes as members of chapter management committees and the executive board. Encourages students' participation in free weekly quiz competitions by providing support to interested institutions. Facilitates networking and interaction among B schools. Why would you like to remain a non-member of AIMS? Pay a very low one-time membership fee and enjoy many lifetime benefits. Visit https://aims.org.in for more details.
You start, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Good afternoon.
Yes, sir, you are.
Sorry for the income. There is some power.
Yes, sir, you are.
Sorry. Good afternoon, my dear colleagues from the industry as well as academia. It gives me immense pleasure to start off the session of the Inspiring Young Leaders session. And the current day's topic is Artificial Intelligence in Marketing. The esteemed speaker is Dr. Supriya Lamba Sahdev. She is HOD Marketing and also Head International Relations at ISBR Business School, Bengaluru. She has immense experience. She has 11 plus years of experience in working for premier business schools as well as the premier university. She spent her time with Amity University more than 10 years, and she has done her double bachelor's degree in commerce as well as education, and PhD is from Amity University in the area of open innovation and Indian food processing SMEs. And she has to her credit 50 plus research papers in UGC and Scopus publications, an active researcher, and she has conducted 3 international conferences, and also she is the lead editor for 3 journals. She has also delivered and several talks at various national and international seminars, and she got 3 patents published, out of which 2 were granted, and has edited 1 book as a first author. Welcome to the session, madam. I am very glad to introduce you. I would like to give some instruction to all the participants. My dear participants, please be always unmute yourself during the course of the discussion. And all the question and answers, you can post it in the chat box. And the certificates will be issued only to those people, those who have submitted the feedback form. Please follow the instructions. And I would like to thank Mr. Sudhir Sharma, President, All India Board Members, and AIMS Secretariat, and all other members from AIMS who are taking part in this event. And today's topic is Artificial Intelligence in Marketing. Before just getting into the topic, I would like to just give a brief of artificial intelligence. The seeds of artificial intelligence were planted long before the term of artificial intelligence itself is coined. The idea of creating the machines that could mimic human intelligence has been a captivating thought since ancient times. Various stories, myths, and legends from the different cultures envisions artificial intelligence or artificial beings are endowed with consciousness, a clear testament to humanity and long-standing fascination with intelligent missions. However, it was in the 20th century that these ideas began to take the concrete shape. With the advent of computers and digital technology, the notion of creating intelligent missions seems to have a fantasy and more like a real possibility. Now over to Supriya Lamba, who will be taking us through artificial intelligence, its implications in the marketing. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vailke, sir, for this wonderful introduction. And I would like to thank AIMS for giving me this opportunity to share the knowledge that I have on the topic AI in marketing. So I am going to be sharing my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen. Please confirm. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So I am going to take you straight away to this wonderful saying, which says that AI in marketing is not just a tool. It is a catalyst which makes things happen, helps in transforming the landscape that we have, making us move from the traditional to the new age things that we are not just seeing, but at the same time, witnessing and experiencing in today's scenario. It indeed, empowers businesses all across the globe to decode, especially the new oil that we have, which we call as the data, the data intricacies, keeping in mind that it is big in nature. And that's why we have even the term big data. It personalizes the experience. And I should not be, justifying if I simply say personalizes. I rather should say hyper personalizes. And at the same time, it charts a dynamic course. It paves the path and it shapes the future where marketing is not just, strategic, but at the same time, deeply intuitive. Now, with this, we embark on this particular journey whereby we will be learning today about AI in marketing. So in this particular session of mine, we will be touching upon things like, what exactly AI is all about, how, it is actually very critical, very crucial when it comes to marketing. We'll be talking about some real life examples. And yes, in the end, we will be summarizing it. Now I'm taking you to the very first slide of mine that talks about AI in marketing. So the role of artificial intelligence, as we all know, is increasing multifolds, and it is transforming the way, it is making businesses change, adapt. And at the same time, especially when we talk about the customer engagement, the CRM aspect, the data analysis aspect, and yes, of course, the informed decision making, which is the need of the hour, keeping in mind that with the nickest of the time, things are changing. I have this particular slide of mine, which I really wanted to share with you, talking about that how exactly these industry leaders have brought a change. They have set the ball rolling when we talk about AI in marketing. So the very first one that we have is Gary Marcus. So he is a cognitive scientist and an entrepreneur. He has contributed in the field of AI, including its application specifically in the domain of marketing. And he is known for the work on the future of artificial general intelligence, which people are saying is the next leap after the advent of AI. And at the same time, it is also quantum computing, which is the buzzword, if you ask me, in today's scenario, that people are really excited to learn about. So next we have Gil Press. He is an AI analyst, a journalist, and at the same time a contributor. Gil Press has written, extensively on the impact of AI, indeed, in different domains, in different industries, especially covering the marketing aspect. And yes, his insights and the analysis that he has done have been influential, especially when it comes to understanding the industry trends. Then we have Scott Brinker as the VP of the platform, which I believe each one of you knows about, the ecosystem at HubSpot, and the editor of the Chief Marketing Technologist blog. He has been a thought leader, a known marketeer, especially in the intersection of marketing and technology, which really includes AI. Then we have Kai-Fu Lee. He is the founder of the Sinovation Ventures. He has a prominent role in the development of AI, especially when we talk about the country China. His insights on the global AI landscape is known to each one of us, keeping in mind the kind of blogs that we get to read, the news that we come across, and at the same time, the kind of impact it has on the various industries all around us when we talk about the MNCs. And yes, indeed, it includes, marketing. We do have got other industry leaders with us, which includes Andrew NG. He is a leading AI researcher, which I believe each one of us knows about, a known co-founder of the Global Brain and the former chief scientist at the Baidu. I believe each one of us are familiar with Baidu, keeping in mind that we are, most of us are from the education domain. So he has been an influential, person in advancing AI technologies, and no doubt his contribution extends to education, and at the same time co-founding Coursera, which is again, a educational offering, online educational offerings. Then we have Dr. Fifi Lee. She is an AI and computer vision expert. She is the chief scientist of AI and ML, that is machine learning, when it comes to the Google Cloud. Again, a known personality. Her work, especially in the image recognition, has had implications for AI applications in different domains, whether it is, banking or any other place for that matter. Then we have Radha L. Caliboy. She is the co-founder and CEO of Effectica. She has indeed played a very significant role in the development of emotions AI, which I believe is again used in multiple industries, very dominantly used in banking these days. Keeping in mind, people simply take, a picture of yours of your retina, and they are even using their thumbprints, to do banking on your behalf. So here, emotions AI really play a very vital role. So she has done tremendous work there in that particular field. And then we have Brian Solis. He is a digital analyst, and he is known for the kind of influential work that he has done, again, in the area of technology and marketing. His insights have no doubt contributed to understanding the evolving landscape of AI in marketing. Now, I have introduced you to all these, industry leaders for a reason, so that we can better understand that what exactly, AI is doing when we are talking about, marketing. So we will be going through it one by one, talking about the same. So the very first thing which I personally feel AI is contributing in marketing in today's scenario is through customer segmentation and targeting. When we talk about it, no doubt, AI enables more precisely and dynamic customer segmentation by analyzing the vast amount of data which is there, and it helps marketeers, identify the kind of patterns that are there, the kind of preferences, customers have, and at the same time, it allows, for the personalized, targeting which is required, specifically keeping in mind the demographics, and at the same time, the increasing efficiency, which is required in the marketing campaigns. Talking about the personalized content creation, no doubt, AI algorithms, as we all know, analyzes the customer behavior. Now, customer being the king, this is really required. And we really need to understand, as the marketeers, the preferences, to create those personalized content there. And this includes personalized, emails to them, product recommendations to them, even targeted, marketing for that matter, advertising. And at the same time, this personalization enhances, in a nutshell, the overall, customer experience. And yes, it improves the chances of conversion. That is from a lead generation to, actual making a potential customer a customer. Then we have chatbots and the virtual assistants, and when we talk about them, it is important that we learn about them from the perspective of the AI powered chatbots, which each one of us experiences. Very recently, I did a certification from Infosys Springboard, and at the end of the day, I end up chatting with the chatbot. And these virtual assistants really provide quick, instant, just like Maggie noodles, the response to our queries, if you ask me, around the clock, the customers support, which is really required in today's scenario, keeping in mind that customers do not have patience there. And they can answer, all these chatbots can answer your queries, guide, all the users, all the customers through the websites, and at the same time assist, even with the kind of, purchase that they can make, if you ask me. And when I talk about these purchase decisions, they also contribute big time in improvising the customer satisfaction and, yes, of course, the engagement. No doubt, they also help in, when we talk about AI, it also helps in predictive analytics. It leverages by doing this to, forecast future trends, and at the same time, the consumer behavior, again, based on the, previous data, which is already into existence, which we also call as historical data. So this insight really helps marketeers, make informed decisions, and at the same time optimize the kind of campaigns. And yes, of course, allocate a lot of resources, effectively that they have. Data analysis and insights. So AI processes and no doubt analyzes, big data, large data sets, at speed, which is required, and at the same time the scale, which will, I believe, otherwise is impossible. It cannot be done by humans. And this really allows, marketeers to derive, invaluable, insights into, the data, which no doubt helps them again to understand better the customer behavior, their preferences, and yes, of course, the market trends that are there. At the same time, when we talk about this all, it is important that we also understand that AI plays a very vital role in dynamic pricing. And when we are talking about it, AI is used to implement dynamic pricing strategies by analyzing the market demand. And when I'm talking about it, it is all about, competitor pricing and the other relevant factors which are there in real time. Now, this enables businesses to optimize for maximum profitability and at the same time, the kind of competitiveness that they feel like maintaining. Now, when I talk about this, it is important that we also talk about the facial recognition. And when I talk about facial recognition, it is also important that you learn about the visual search. So, AI technologies like facial recognition and the visual search no doubt enhances the user experience. That is the customer's, experience, which we talk about. So they really allow customers, to search for products simply by using, their images, or you can say the facial recognition can also be used for personalized marketing and at the same time the targeted advertisements which are there in use. When I talk about it, social media listening and sentiment analysis is another thing which is offered by AI when we talk about marketing domain, as AI tools, monitor all the social media channels that we have in today's scenario, whether it is Instagram, Snapchat, for that matter, Facebook, to track, the kind of mentions that are there, the sentiments which are, expressed, the kind of trends, which are related to, maybe a brand or you can say a product. And at the same time, all this information really helps, the marketeers to understand the public opinion and identify, the influencers, keeping in mind the influencer marketing, and at the same time adapt their strategies accordingly. Now, when we talk about it, it is also important that we know about, marketing automation. And when we are talking about it, no doubt AI-powered marketing automation tools streamlines, the repetitive tasks. Repetitive tasks like, maybe sending, emails under the email campaigns, or maybe the social media posting for that matter. And at the same time, the lead, nourishing that is really required. Now, this frees up the time, for the marketeers to focus on, better things like strategy, on things like, creativity, which AI really can't replace. So this creativity aspect, of the marketeers campaign, they can focus upon the minute they get free time by having marketing automation in place because of AI. At the same time, one very important thing that AI does is fraud detection and security. And when I talk about it, I must, put a lot of emphasis upon the AI algorithms, which are, used big time to detect the kind of fraudulent activities that are taking place in today's scenario when we talk about the online marketing, especially, things like click fraud or, maybe payment frauds. I believe each one of you must have gone through the recent news, which was there in the headlines talking about the Paytm barcode scam. Now, this really enhances the overall security of online transaction and indeed of advertising efforts. Taking you through, so my next slide talks about the real life examples. So here I have spoken about, what exactly AI is doing in marketing. And I have given you examples, to make you understand better that, which company is doing what. Like, for example, when we talk about personalized recommendation, it is about Netflix, which I believe each one of you, enjoy simply by doing binging. That is, watching the same series and finishing it in one day. So AI algorithm here, when we talk about Netflix, analyzes weighing history and at the same time, the way we view, the series or maybe, a particular episode, our preferences and also at times, the user behavior, and they recommend, personalized content to us. Now, this keeps, the users not just engaged, but at the same time contribute to a longer subscription periods, which is no doubt beneficial for Netflix. Then we have chatbots for customer service. So here we can always talk about, the Facebook Messenger chatbot. So many businesses, are using this, especially small businesses are using this, which are, AI powered. And when I talk about these, they provide, instant responses to customer queries, they assist with, even product recommendations, and they even facilitate, a lot of, purchases there for that matter when we talk about, Facebook Messenger chatbots. Predictive analytics for customers' behavior, again used by, good example is Amazon. So Amazon is using AI not just to analyze customer behavior, but also is working upon, the browsing history that a customer or a viewer is having. And at the same time, what kind of, past purchases that he has. They are doing this in order to ensure that they are able to predict the future buying patterns of the potential customers they have, and at the same time, even the loyal customers that they have. Now, this enables them to make a lot of, product recommendation and at the same time, personalize the user experience there. Dynamic pricing is another important thing, and good example of the same is actually Uber. Sorry, there's a typo error there. And when I talk about this, Uber actually utilizes AI algorithms to implement, dynamic pricing based on factors like, the demand which is there, the timing of the day, especially, the working hours, mornings and evenings, and the traffic condition, what kind of traffic condition it is. And, I am in Bengaluru, I can very well tell you this whenever, it is peak hours, office hours. The traffic is too much here in Bengaluru. And keeping that in mind, they're actually changing their prices. Now, prices adjust in real time to optimize, their earnings and at the same time, the balance supply demand. Talking about, the same visual search, if you can see, good example is Pinterest. I'm sure most of you must be using it. So Pinterest actually employs the AI-driven visual search technology, and it no doubt allows users to, search for items using images. And this particular platform recognizes, objects within a picture and suggests, related products, or, you can say ideas. Then we have the email marketing optimization. Talking about the same excellent example is Grammarly, keeping in mind, if you are a research scholar or, a faculty, a professor, or maybe, a dean or a director, each one of us has used Grammarly, keeping in mind when it comes to, our writings. So Grammarly uses, AI to not just analyze users' writing styles and yes, of course, their preferences. It also enables, personalized, suggestions, especially in emails and other communications that you're doing with the help of it. And this no doubt enhances the engagement and user satisfaction. Then we have social media listening, and then we have the Hootsuite, and I believe each one of you knows that, it incorporates the AI tools for social media listening, helping businesses, monitor brand mentions and at the same time, track the sentiments the customers have. And yes, of course, identify the trending topics. Now, this data, informs marketing strategies and content creation well planned. And at the same time, when we talk about, this, I believe marketing automation is another area. And it, when we talk about it, the excellent example of the same can be HubSpot, where AI is being used. And HubSpot, I believe, if you are into marketing domain, you must be knowing about it. HubSpot actually utilizes AI in its marketing automation platform, basically to streamline, all the tasks, like if you ask me, the lead nourishing, which is no doubt very important from the perspective of not just marketing, but also from sales, email campaigns and social media, scheduling. Now, this allows marketers not just to focus on the strategy, but also on creativity, which AI cannot do. Other than this, facial recognition for personalized experiences, excellent example can be KFC's Smile to Pay. So I believe each one of you knows about. So KFC basically in India implemented, a facial recognition payment system where customers, smile at the camera to make a payment. Now, this is an excellent thing that has been come up by KFC to attract a lot of customers. And this not only provides, a very convenient transaction method, but also offers, a very personalized and engaging experience to all the customers. Then we have the augmented reality, which we also call as AR in advertising, which is the short form of the same. So example of the same is IKEA Place app. And I believe if you know about IKEA, IKEA is known for its furniture. And the IKEA AR app really allows users to visualize how furniture will look, in their homes, just like, Amazon does, before actually purchasing, that particular furniture. Now, this enhances not just the shopping experience, but also increases the likelihood of successful conversion. That means the customer, once they get to see that how exactly this furniture is going to look in a particular space, it becomes easier for them to, take informed decisions about the look and feel of the product. And definitely, this lead gets converted into an actual purchase. Taking you now to a more detailed, slide of mine that really talks about that how exactly and what are the aspects of, AI, is impacting when it comes to marketing. So we have got certain aspects right here in front of you, starting from personalization at scale and what kind of impact AI actually has made in the area of marketing is here in front of you. And I have also mentioned the potential outcomes, for companies. Like, for example, when we talk about chatbots and conversion marketing. So if you can see, 80% of the businesses have planned to use chatbots by 2024, that is this year, as per the report of Oracle. And at the same time, chatbots can handle 80% of even routine queries, which is given, as per the report of IBM. And this ultimately will be improvising the customer satisfaction if we look at from the potentials that it has when it comes to the servings a company is going to be having and the kind of satisfaction that the consumer is going to be deriving. So I'm not going through this all. I'm going to be sharing my presentation with Miss Priya Ram, and I request her if she can share, my presentation with you all. I'm rather taking you through, one important part of it, which I believe is really upcoming when we talk about it, and that is voice search optimization, which is very much prevalent in use in today's scenario. And it says that 50% of all searches will be voice-based by 2022, which is 2 years back, as per one of the reports of ComScore. And 72% of the people who own a voice-activated speaker use it as a part of their daily routine, as per the report of PwC. And it says, no doubt it has the potential of improving the visibility in voice search results. So there are multiple things which are right now on your screen that really talks about, with facts and figures, that how exactly marketing is being impacted by AI. Another important, interesting thing that I would like to share with you, keeping in mind that we are talking about AI here, AR and VR experiences. So when we talk about AR and VR experiences, especially in marketing, they are expected to reach $1.8 billion by 2023, as per the report which is there on Statistica. And 62% of the consumers are more likely to engage with brands using AR, as per the report of Zephyr. Now, this ultimately is having a potential, of investment by the marketeers, keeping in mind that it is going to be enhancing the brand engagement. Okay, now I'm taking you through to my next slide that really talks about, certain trends there. Just a minute. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for confirming. So now, talking about the same, we will be talking about, something very interesting, and that is that how exactly, the AI in marketing is being increased, why there is an increase. So the very first one, when we are talking about is actually personalization, at scale. Now, when we are talking about AI, it is enabling, marketers to analyze, vast amount of data to understand the individual customers, their preferences, their behaviors. And this data is then used to create, personalized marketing, messages, campaigns for that matter. And they are also tailored, to specific audience segments, keeping in mind that no customer is alike. Now, keeping the same in mind, even the chatbots for that matter and the conventional, marketing. No doubt, the AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants have become, more sophisticated, and it is allowing, all the businesses to engage with customers in real time. And these tools, no doubt can provide, instant support and can answer queries, and even for that matter can guide, customers through, the sales funnel, which every marketer knows about. When we talk about, predictive analytics, yes, of course, AI algorithms, can help us in analyzing the historical data, to predict the future, and at the same time, the consumer behavior. So when we talk about it, it is important that you understand that marketers can actually use this predictive analytics to make, data-driven decisions, which we also call that the informed decisions, and they can optimize, their campaigns. They can identify potential opportunities, which are required for growth. Now, talking about the same, the content creation and curation also, if you look at, no doubt the AI tools, are being used to generate and curate content. And this includes writing articles, creating social media posts, and even designing visuals. And this indeed helps, the marketers in saving a lot of time, their resources. And while they do this all, this helps in maintaining, a consistent, content flow, which is required. Now, talking about the same, we have, the pragmatic advertising. And when we are talking about it, the AI plays, again, a very crucial role in pragmatic advertising by automating the buying of ad space, in real time. Now, when we are talking about it, this no doubt allows, for more precise targeting. And at the same time, better budgeting can be done in terms of, the allocation that is required to be done for the funds. And yes, of course, it improvises the ad performance of any company, from the perspective of marketing. Talking about the same, we have, the voice search optimization. As we all know that, with the rise of voice activated devices, AI is helping marketers optimize, content for voice search. Now, this is helpful in understanding the natural language, and at the same time, the context, is essential for businesses, to maintain or remain visible in the voice search results. Now, talking about the same, we have customer segmentation and targeting. No doubt, AI help marketers to identify and segment their, audience more effectively. Now, when I am talking about this all, it is important you must know that, AI algorithms can actually identify the patterns and, of course, the characteristics, which we all, know about that humans might, overlook and lead to more, precise targeting. And when we talk about, AI, it is important that we talk about the AR, VR, driven reality experiences. And when we are talking about it, AI is actually enhancing the AR and VR marketing experiences by personalizing the content based on users. And this allows for more immersive and at the same time engaging brand experiences, if you ask me. Social media monitoring and at the same time sentiment analysis. This is again, is helpful, especially for marketers. Why? Because they can quickly respond to the trends. They can manage their brand reputation, in a more effective manner. This is what I feel. And when we talk about dynamic pricing, no doubt, when we talk about the AI algorithm usage there, this no doubt will ensure that prices remains, competitive, keeping in mind the kind of competition which is there in the market. And at the same time, it helps in, optimizing for maximum revenues, keeping in mind that, every company is being run for, one important, goal, and that is making or generating revenues. Now, no doubt, it's important to stay updated, with the latest developments that are taking place in the marketing domain as the integration of, this AI continues to evolve and no doubt, bring about, new possibilities and strategies, for all the businesses. Talking about the same, we have certain, concerns which are there. So no doubt AI has brought about, significant developments when we talk about marketing, but there are also, certain, drawbacks, certain concerns which are there that are need to be very carefully, considered. And when we talk about them, the very first one that talks about is data privacy and security. The extensive use of AI in the marketing domain no doubt involves a lot of collection of data, a lot of analysis of data, which is no doubt in large amounts. When we talk about the customer data, and this concern, really arise, from the point of view of the privacy and the security of this data that we have collected, and especially with the increasing emphasis on the data protection regulations like the GDPR and the CCPA, when we talk about. No doubt there is bias, in algorithms. And when we talk about AI algorithms, they can inadvertently, perpetuate, biasness, which is present in the training data, if you ask me. If historical data contains a lot of biasness there, which you are giving, no doubt the algorithms that will, come out will be having some bias predictions there. And yes, this will lead to, which we call as the discriminatory marketing practices. And how we can exactly, address them, addressing these algorithms bias is no doubt very crucial, for fair and at the same time for ethical marketing, if you ask me. Talking about the same, there is a lot of transparency and explainability issues also there. Now, AI models, especially the ones which are, complex, like the neural networks, to be precise, are often considered as the black boxes, which, that really has a lot of challenges there attached to it when it comes to its interpretation. And lack of transparency for that matter, and the explainability, the black box when we talk about in AI, especially in decision-making processes, raises, a lot of, concerns, not just about the accountability, but also, for that matter, the ability to understand that how marketing decisions are taken or, have been, have reached. Consumer trust is another gray area. When we are talking about it, implementing AI in marketing, may lead to, concerns about, how customers' data is being used. If customers, feel, their privacy is compromised, or maybe, they are being targeted for that matter, without their consent, of course, it can no doubt erode the trust, which is very much vital when we talk about marketing in today's scenario. And no doubt it will negatively impact the brand reputation of the company. Talking about the same, the legal and ethical considerations, when we talk about AI technologies, no doubt a lot of evolution is taking place. Legal and ethical frameworks, have been introduced and we are actually struggling with all of these, to keep a pace with the kind of advancements that are taking place in this particular arena. So questions around, especially the legality, of certain AI applications, the responsibility of companies, in AI-driven decision making, and at the same time, the ethical implications of AI in marketing are, areas of ongoing concern. They are gray areas, and I believe as active researchers, we can really pick up, this particular topic to talk about that how it is actually impacting the marketing domain. Talking about the same, over resilience on automation, which I believe again is a big concern. So while automation is no doubt a strength of AI, when we look at it, there's a risk of over resilience on automated processes when we talk about from the marketing domain perspective. Humans oversight is no doubt essential. And why it is essential? It is essential to ensure that the decisions aligns with the broader business goals, you can say, or for that matter, to prevent, any unintended, consequences which may arise if they are not paid, required attention. Customer resistance is another important area which I believe should be paid a lot of attention to. Why? Because some customers may be resistant or uncomfortable with the AI-driven marketing strategies, particularly those, that involve depersonalization or, maybe advanced technologies like the facial recognition part. Now, striking, right balance there is the key, or rather you can say is the answer to this, between the personalization and at the same time respecting customers' boundaries, is something that I really recommend for. Then we have skill gaps and at the same time the workforce displacement. So when we talk about it, the integration of AI in the marketing, really requires a skilled, workforce manpower there. Why? Because there are concerns that really arise about the potential skill, gaps where marketeers, may lack the expertise to leverage, the kind of AI effectiveness that is required. Also, when we are talking about it, there are a lot of worries about, job displacements. As routine marketing, tasks become, automated. We every day go through, these newspaper headlines, whether, online or in person, physical mode or maybe virtual mode. We are getting to learn more and more about it, how people are being replaced by the AI driven, technologies. Talking about the same, the ad frauds and at the same time the manipulations that are there taking place big time. So the use of AI is no doubt pragmatic in pragmatic advertising, and yes, other marketing channels, introduces a lot of risk of ad fraud and manipulation. And AI driven, bots especially, can mimic even human behavior. And they can lead to fraudulent clicks, and at times, if you ask me in detail, even impressions, which can be disastrous for humans, like you and me. Talking about the same, regulatory compliance. So when we talk about it, adhering, to the existing and at the same time emerging, regulations, related to the AI in marketing is no doubt a complex challenge. And marketers need to navigate to rapidly changing, regulatory, landscape there. And they are required to do this in order to make sure that they are able to ensure the compliance with the various law governing data use, and at the same time, consumer right from the perspective of, consumer act, and at the same time, the AI practices. Now, when we are addressing all these concerns, it really requires, a very proactive approach, from the marketeer side, from the policymaker side, and at the same time, the technology, developer side, and to establish, the ethical guidelines, enhance the transparency that is required, and at the same time build in, the trust amongst, the consumers. I believe it is really, really important that all of the parties together, whether it is marketeers or policymakers or, the technology developers, they all should come together to address all these concerns. And it is indeed very essential to strike a balance between, which I have said earlier also, leveraging, the benefits of AI in marketing, and at the same time addressing, the potential risks that are there, and at the same time the challenges, that are associated with its implementation. There are, multiple ways in which, we can boost the adoption of AI in marketing, which are right here in front of you. And these really involve, strategic planning, resource allocation, and at the same time, a commitment to innovation. So here, I'm just going to be reading out, keeping in mind the paucity of time, the ways in which, it can be enhanced, and that is education and training, leadership support, pilot programs, collaboration, with AI experts. And when we talk about collaboration, I believe partnering, especially, with the AI experts, data scientists, or maybe, external AI consultancy firms, no doubt can leverage, their expertise. And collaborative efforts can, accelerate the integration process, and they can also ensure the use of, the best practices that they can, have. Then, it can also help in clear objective setting, and at the same time, the KPIs, which you also called as the key performance indicators. They can also invest in AI infrastructure, which is really required, especially, in the tools, in the platforms, and in the technologies that really aligns, with the organization's, marketing, goals. They can have cross-functional teams. And when we talk about cross-functional teams, they can work together to implement the AI solutions very effectively. And at the same time, they can address any technical or operational challenges that are there for that matter. Customer-centric approach, no doubt, can be done. And in this case, they will be able to have, a more, rather, I should say, better, they will be able to predict in a better fashion the customer needs. They will be able to improve the engagement, and this whole demonstration will help in having a positive impact on the customer satisfaction that can derive internal support for AI initiatives. No doubt, continuous monitoring and optimization also of all the processes which are under the AI or AI driven marketing campaigns can no doubt help having better synergy between AI and marketing. And yes, community and industry involvement is also important, especially with industry forums like, AIMS, conferences, communities, which are focused on AI in marketing. No doubt, networking like this, which we are undergoing today with professionals in the field, will provide a lot of valuable insights, a lot of best practices, a lot of opportunities, for collaboration for that matter. And you can also start with low risk applications, applications, with which, you have confidence with, you have familiarity with. And at the same time, you can also incentivize, innovation in your own company, so that, the marketing team is able to come up, with better exploration, better implementation when it comes to, innovation and the AI solutions that they are proposing. Talking about the same, I do have a roadmap, but keeping in mind the paucity of time, it is already 3:47. I stop here, and thank you so much, everyone, for having me today. And I hope, the content that has been shared today with you all have been, have given you, food of thought.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful session on AI. Actually, you started off with the introduction and the people in the AI, who are all the people doing the active research, then role of AI in marketing, then real life examples you have covered, facts you have presented, trends, as well as areas of concern, and ways to boost the AI. Thank you. And you also provided the roadmap. Thank you for a wonderful session. The lot many questions are coming up. So I would like to pose one question from my side to begin with. You mentioned that AI is an incredible potential for marketing. From your experience in teaching as well as in the industry, what are all the 3 actionable ways for small and medium businesses which can start implementing the AI in their marketing strategies with the limited resources? In fact, one of the faculty, Varalakshmi, if I am not wrong, she is also asking about the same question. So can you just elaborate?
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for that deep and related questions, sir. No doubt, when we talk about implementation of AI, especially in these small and medium enterprises, keeping in mind that they have very limited resources there, and how they can actually use AI, in the best of their capacity, making sure that it is effective and at the same time, feasible. We do have, multiple examples from MNCs like, Amazon, for that matter, Netflix, which are no doubt prominent examples of AI when it comes to its implementation. There are also some noteworthy instances, that have taken place, in small and medium enterprises, successfully, leveraging the AI in their marketing strategies. And the question that you have put, talking about the three, actionable ways, to actually start. So I would like to say that the very first one, as per my understanding, is the customer segmentation and personalization in today's scenario. And talking about the same, so how we can use it. So use of AI algorithms, no doubt, helps to analyze, the customer data, the customer behavior, and it is used to identify the segments. And at the same time, we do this segmentation keeping in mind the similar preferences and traits of the consumers, of course. And when we talk about this, the benefit that can be derived from this can be the personalized, marketing messages. It can be offers, it can be content for that matter, for each segment separately, designed. Again, from the perspective of personalization. And this, no doubt, will increase the engagement and, yes, of course, the conversion rates there. Now, for specifically for customer segmentation and personalization, what I personally feel is that CRM is an excellent, tool that can be used. No doubt, it is very affordable, platform, and it is built in with AI, features such as the HubSpot or, Zoho CRM for that matter. My organization is using, Zoho currently to, follow up with all the people with whom, we have connects with. So this is an excellent, way that, customer segmentation and personalization can be done. It's an actionable way to kickstart the usage of AI in marketing. And when I talk about this, I have an excellent example to quote here. It is about, the Bloom and Wild online flower delivery. And just to share with you, it is an UK-based online flower delivery company, which has actually implemented the AI algorithm, to analyze their customer preferences and at the same time the purchase history there. It is a small and medium, enterprise. It falls under that category, and that's why I'm sharing this particular example with you. And they use, this all data which I have just shared with you to offer, very personalized products and even recommendations. And at times, yes, to mention it, the discounts also, to their customers. Now, talking about the same, I believe it is also important that we talk about, the next one. The next actionable way, which is, I believe, is very must in today's scenario, and that is chatbots, for that matter. And, when we talk about implementation of AI-powered chatbots, on any website or maybe, on social media platforms, the small and medium enterprises, I believe, will be able to handle, the routine customer, inquiries which they receive on daily basis. And I believe in this way, they'll be able to provide, instant support to their customers. And at the same time, they'll be able to gather a lot of valuable information which is required by them for taking the informed decisions, sir. When we talk about these chatbots, no doubt this will help in, improvising, the customer service, save a lot of time, and yes, of course, enhance the user experience. And even, for that matter, the small and medium enterprises will be able to operate even with limited staff there, sir. And now,
Thank
talking
you.
about the same.
Supriya, let me stop here. There are 3 questions that are coming up, and I'm
Okay.
just convinced, I'm sure our audience are also very eager to know. So I'll just pose the first question, that is from Dr. Monica Suri. She is asking, actually, she is first of all thanking you for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you,
She's
sir.
wanted to know whether AI will work equally for high and low involvement products, or whether they will be having the same impact or not.
So if you ask me, sir, when we talk about AI and the product involvement, again, human intervention is something which we really look forward to have. Can I request you to repeat that question again, sir?
Yeah, for the actually whether the AI involvement, how it will be having an impact on low-end products and high-end. Actually,
Okay,
that
okay.
involvement
All right.
as well as high involvement products.
Okay. So,
So
impact
whether it
of
will be having same impact or not, that is her question.
okay.
I
Okay,
will
all right,
support
sir.
you also in the answering, but you can.
Sure, sir. So, when we talk about AI, no doubt it has significant impacted, sir, the high-end products, especially keeping in mind the kind of enhanced features that they have. So when we talk about, these smart watches, let's talk about, noise for that matter, both, for that matter, the brands which are there in the market. And at the same time, offerings like, Apple, Apple Watch or maybe, Samsung Watch. They are different, keeping in mind, the features, the enhanced features that they have. Now, when I talk about the high-end products, they have enhanced features, smart automation, predictive analysis, and at the same time, the personalized user experiences. Keeping in mind that, high-end technology is being used there in them. And no doubt, AI is impacting them more. This is what I personalized feel, keeping in mind that, it is impacting big time the efficiency that they offer, the increased customization that they offer, and at times they also offer the seamless integration of technology into their daily life. So if you ask me, the high-end products were introduced earlier than the other, low-end products. So when I talk about this, I can vouch for the Apple Watch, first introduced, followed by the Samsung, and then later on by the low-end offerings like Boat and the other offerings that we have from the brands like Noise.
No. Actually, one more point which I would like to add, Supriya.
Please.
She was talking about high involvement products and low involvement products. Actually,
Okay.
that is what
Okay.
she is talking about.
All
But
right.
I
All
would
right.
like
I
to
thought
support
it is
you.
from the
I will help you. Actually, see this, Monica madam. Actually, the impact will be differ significantly for complex decision making products as well as low involvement products. So there in complex decision making, emotional influence and limited data availability also will be helping. And whereas in low involvement product simplifies this, help them to simplify the decision making process. But at the end of the day, what type of technology you use, how effectively you are using, these things also will be influencing whether our decision is right or wrong or how far we can go. So hope, Monica, you got the answer. Monica, are you there? Okay. We'll move to.
Can I add here, if you permit me?
Yeah, please, madam.
So I'm so sorry. I took the question in the other way. I thought it is about, the high-end products and the low-end. I missed out the involvement part. So Monica, just to add here that, when we talk about, the low involvement products, I'm just going to be adding to what Dr. Wailke has just mentioned about. So AI actually revolutionized, the way marketing has been done for low involvement products, by enabling, the targeted, advertising, and at the same time the personalized recommendations, and at the same time the optimized customer engagement. And through the ML algorithms, when we talk about, AI can actually analyze vast amount of data to tailor these marketing strategies, and ultimately increasing the efficiency and, yes, of course, the effectiveness in reaching the target audience for such low involvement products. Thank you.
Okay. Professor, one more question is coming up from
Yes, sir.
Lakshmi madam. Actually, she was asking about what could be the cost of implementation of AI.
Cost of implementation can be different for different setups, sir. It can be different. It can be a low level for a small and medium enterprises. And when we talk about the multinational companies, definitely, because keeping in mind the volumes and the value they play in, definitely will be different. It cannot be same for all sorts of organization. And also it depends on the nature of the product that they are offering, keeping in mind the involvement of technology in it.
Yeah, actually, Varalakshmi madam, I am adding some more specific pointers. Customized AI solutions in Indian currency, it will be ranging from 5 lakhs to 1 crore depending on the project. And there are also smaller startup might consider a pre-built AI solutions which will be starting as simple as 10,000 rupees per month. So it's all depends on the rest of the return on investment, what you are looking at, what kind of turnover you are expecting out of this, and based on this, one need to plan their budgets. Varalakshmi, did you get your answer?
I would also like to add, sir, here that,
Please.
when we talk about the cost of implementation, specifically of AI in marketing, no doubt, varies widely, keeping in mind the size of the organization, whether it is small, medium, or, multinational company. It also is impacted by things like, the complexity of the AI solution that they are using. Also, it depends on the kind of, integration, requirements that the company has. And no doubt, it also, big time is impacted by the kind of, scale of marketing operations that they're doing. Like, for example, the small scale AI applications, which I just mentioned about, things like, chatbots, they may have a very affordable, implementation there. While, on the contrary, if you ask me, sophisticated AI systems, for data analytics, or maybe, for that matter, personalized targeting, no doubt will be involving a lot of higher cost there.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to, the software
One
development
more.
or the infrastructure part.
Yeah. One last question, we'll take it up. I think Chandramalli Mishra is asking about whether AI role in marketing is going to help us in meeting sustainability or self-development goals.
So when we talk about, sir, AI usage in marketing from the, SDG perspective, no doubt, it is good in terms of, ensuring that, when we talk about the same, it is important that we understand the SDGs and the sustainability we are looking forward to have from the company perspective and the kind of, marketing policies and procedures that they have in mind. So no doubt, when we talk about AI no doubt will be helping us in having, in achieving all the 17, strategies, 17 SDG goals that we are having. And at the same time, it will be helping us in also making sure that we are able to attain, efficiency for that matter. We are able to have, impact measurement. We will be able to do better. And no doubt it will be aiding in, responsible consumption patterns. This is one thing that I personally, believe in. It will be able to promote a lot of inclusive marketing strategies. And yes, when we look at it from the perspective of SDGs, we'll be able to support a lot of environmental sustainability, by optimizing the resource usage, which we also call as the best possible usage of the available resources. Leveraging AI. Sorry.
One more questioning is coming up, madam. One last question. I request you to take it up.
Please, sir.
How AI will be helpful for product management?
Oh, so, if you ask me, there was one point of time, when we look at it, product management was a part of the marketing, and AI in product management streamlines, as per me, the processes. It no doubt, aids a lot of, decision making for that matter. It enhances a lot of, users' experiences. And specifically, when we look at it, AI from the perspective of product management, I believe it can assist, in demand forecasting, of the product. It can help in optimizing the supply of the product, and it can also help in, chain management. And also, when it comes to designing the product better, in product development also it can contribute big time. Why? Because AI-driven analytics, in today's scenario are actually helping, most of the product management, people, that is representatives, in not just identifying, the kind of market trends that are there, but it is also helping them in understanding the data-driven decisions which are required to be taken in today's scenario. And when we talk about, the AI-powered chatbots, which I am again and again, mentioning about, or maybe for that matter, the virtual assistants, no doubt, these things ultimately, will be helping in improving, the customer support, sir. Whether it is, marketing, or it is, product development, or maybe, product management, the overall contribution of, of product, management will become more effective and efficient when we look at it, from the perspective of product, if AI is being used there.
Thank you, Dr. Supriya. Dr. Mohammed Jahangir, sir, hope you got your answer for the question. So, Dr. Mohammed, sir, are you there? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Supriya, for a wonderful session. It is pleasure for me always to moderate you. It is a great opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I would like to thank Professor Sudhir Sharma, President of AIMS, and all the board members of AIMS Secretariat, especially Priya Ramkumar for coordinating the entire session, and all the participants who have actively participated in the entire session of AI and its implications for marketing. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. YLK, and thank you so much, AIMS for giving me this opportunity for this knowledge sharing session. Thank you so much. Looking forward to have more.
I request all participants to provide your feedback immediately, not to miss out. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Priya.